I believe we're live, Drip. Drip, Nintendo's missing piece.
Yes.
Why we need a new Zelda game. Totally not a ChatGPT generated title for this episode.
Not at all. Not at all. From the mind of Jeeb himself.
Oh, exactly.
For
sure.
Fantastic.
Drip, it's been a while. How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right.
This will be the longest we've talked to each other since the last podcast.
Yeah. Our
Normally,
phone conversations have been quite short lately.
Yeah, and like few and far between.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've had the kids here for a week, so it's like,
yeah,
I didn't do anything. I just stopped.
I had my kids here for a week too. AKA my parents. Yo, what's up, Samantha? What's up, Power Man? How we doing? Yo.
Hello.
Love to see that badge next to your name, dude. Love it. Thank you for being a member of the podcast. We appreciate you.
Appreciate it for sure.
Happy belated birthday to Power Man.
Happy birthday. Sorry,
97 years young. The oldest listener of this podcast. That he's the reason why our analytics are so shifted. Because he is an elderly man. Thank you, Power Man, for listening to this podcast. Happy birthday, man. I know, Power Man, you were asking for us to... Drip and I were like stupidly busy last week, and I didn't get a chance to respond to you. He asked if we could do a members podcast on his birthday for him. Not only did we not do that, we didn't even do a regular podcast that week. So it was just a busy week, man.
Nice.
Get
we
off
nailed
my
that,
lawn.
clearly.
Clearly,
we nailed that. Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Where was that being asked at?
In Discord. And then I believe he private messaged me. I can't remember.
We should have done that. What's wrong with you, Jeeb?
I'm sorry,
That's
man.
totally your fault.
Tuesday, I was visiting a wedding venue and preparing to sign papers and giving them all my money. That was
I mean, oh man, yeah. I don't know. I had all the kids here. I didn't even put out a video last week, like a regular YouTube video.
Slacker. That's what I call you. It's your new name.
It's fine. It's whatever. I wasn't ready.
And I'll be honest, I was ready. I was prepared for you to be like, I got a video for you. I was like, okay,
well, and
I'll make the time for you.
Family down there. I didn't want to throw a video for you to edit. I didn't want to have to. I didn't want to do that to you.
I was ready.
I mean, and I also felt like, you know, that's why I called you that day. Like, hey, what do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think? Maybe, just maybe, possibly. Yeah. We just put up a selects episode and not do an episode.
Called me after I was sweaty. Well, it was kind of sweaty. It was raining. It called me after a rainy, stressful day. Be like, hey, what do you think about not doing something tonight?
I did think that.
I was like, you know what?
Think that wasn't strategic?
Pull my leg.
Like,
pull my leg, Drip.
I know where he's at. Should be on the way back now. Super stressed. Perfect time to say, hey, you want to not do that thing we're supposed to do tonight? No, but I think this week, I think this will be the video this week. This thing's pretty cool.
Yes.
What's
his name?
What is it called? Electra. The EOS Pro Electra. It's pretty cool. It's nice. It feels nice.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
What's the company on that?
I guess EOS?
Not familiar.
I'm not either, but they emailed me and they were like, you want to check this out? And I was like, yeah, I do.
Yeah. Hey guys, reminder, we got 7 of you hanging out. Appreciate you guys being back for after a week off. If you guys don't mind leaving a like while you're here, 7 of you guys, there should be at least 7 likes. I mean, that'd be great if we can get all 7 of you guys to like the stream. We'd appreciate that.
Oh, I need to share this on my YouTube.
Yeah, share that on YouTube.
Well, my bad.
Tonight's topics are as follows. Zelda. Can't wait to talk about some Zelda. It's been
not have any Zelda sounds on this board.
I don't know, Drip. It's been a while since we've done a Zelda. Come and get it. Do a Zelda episode. It's been a while.
What's it been, like 2 weeks?
It's been at least 24 hours since a Zelda episode is.
No, for real though. How long has it been? It's been a while.
I don't think we've done a single Zelda thing in 2024.
We should just become a Zelda podcast, I think.
I would say for like at least like 35% of 2023 we were.
Easy there. Yeah, we were. Right before Tears of the Kingdom came out. That's all we talked about.
Pretty much, yeah.
Nothing wrong with it.
Good times. But we're gonna be talking about some I don't know. I feel like, well, we all know. Drip and I have been talking about this for this entire 2024, back even going to 2023. Just kind of a little unusual behavior from Nintendo right now. I think it's
Well, yeah, I mean, we know why. But
we know why, but it's still unusual.
it is.
You know what I mean? Like it is explainable, but it is still unusual. It doesn't change the fact that this is weird, and the fact that we still haven't even have an inkling of like. Of course, we have these like direct rumors in April, which you and I are like, yeah, that's not a thing.
It's not a thing.
Maybe later in this month we'll cave and do an episode about it, but as far as like right now, it's
Maybe we will.
It's not real.
Maybe we will.
They're not real. You slide turkey, you. Gobble. But yeah, so we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about some possibilities of what we could see this year and next year, even with Zelda. Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah,
that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah. You got a beer of the week?
I do have a beer of the week. We'll do the pre-show beer of the week. Not proud of it, but it's the cheap stuff, and that's what I got these days. Coors, the banquet beer.
Man, I thought you were gonna hold up a.
No, Drip. I hate to tell you, Drip. I hate Busch Light. Like I actively dislike Busch Light. I think Coors is twice the beer that Busch is. I know that's gonna hurt you inside, but that's just my personal tongue.
Hey, that's fine.
And luckily, you and I don't share tongues or use them together, so it doesn't matter.
Not
that
much.
This is awkward. But so I think Busch is an awful beer, personally. Busch Apple is the best beer, which is funny.
It's good. It's good stuff. I mean, I can't. Yeah, I mean, I can't really talk anything. I don't even have like an actual beer. You know, I go back to these from time to time. They're good.
Oh, those are good.
The Cayman Jack margaritas. This one is a strawberry. I did bring a few down to the mini fridge. I have a mango in there.
Yeah.
And a watermelon. So
those boys slide right down. Let me tell you,
they're great. They're so good.
Mm-hmm. Highly recommend.
They're wonderful.
We're not. I was gonna say we're not in like sub-only mode chat, are we? Or like members only? But no, we're good. It's because Samantha chimed in and said, "Hey," and they're not a member, so we're good. Yeah. Sometimes, Drip, with these podcasts that we do after a little bit of a layoff, it starts slow, but for some reason, by the time you get to the end of the episode, like sometimes it like, oops, I hit my mic. It like for some reason sometimes it like goes at the end of the episode. So maybe by the time the end of the recording, we'll have people hanging out with us right now. And those of you hanging out right now, we appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, candy.
You gotta be kidding me right now. Hold on. I gotta text that.
Why? What?
Hold on. I gotta do it. Tell me about your candy.
Nerds, gummy clusters. These are the rainbow ones. They're fucking amazing. What else do you want to know about them besides the fact that they are fan-fucking-tastic?
I think I might have told you this recently. It was before my parents came. It was like the Saturday before my parents came. We had we had Paige over. Remember I told you we had Paige over, our friend Paige, and Paige, it goes to distributors and gets some edibles, the gummies. So on Saturday night, after we got back from our tattoo convention, we indulged as a group. And
that's fun.
And we went to Walmart afterwards to grab munchies because we knew we were preparing for the battle ahead. Also to eat dinner because we didn't have that either, but to also munch. And one of the munchies things we picked up were those fucking nerd.
They're amazing.
Dude, so they've been around for a while. They used to be the ropes. They used to sell them as ropes.
They still have the ropes.
They still do. Okay. So but they didn't have the circles. And I always was opposed to the little nerd circles because I don't know. I thought the ropes were superior.
They are. I still think they are. These are fantastic. I think the ropes are better.
So this is all we have left from our second bag that we bought because we thought they were so fucking good.
They're fire, dude.
He's got them.
My kids specifically. They're fire. My kids specifically asked for these.
She just took a while. I got one. She took the rest.
Oh man, I got 3 bags of them here. I got a ton of
3 bags. Hell yeah. You got more kids.
Well,
than
I
us.
was gonna buy 1 bag and split them up into each of the 3 baskets, but then I was I'm doing myself a disservice by doing that. I could just buy an individual bag for each kid because chances are good I'm gonna get at least half of every one of those bags.
So as a young kid, I used to be really into nerds. I was one of the kids who liked nerds. Do you know that the nerds on these are very different than unless they've changed nerds that I don't know about? These nerds are different.
These aren't as like
they're tiny,
crunchy, and they're not as crunchy.
Well, yeah, but mainly because they're tiny. Like they're just like little baby balls of sugar. So yeah, I guess that also means they're not as crunchy, but they're just smaller in general, which makes for the perfect little gummy candy snack.
They are amazing.
They are so poppable. Like, dude, I don't gotta tell you. I'm just trying to tell everybody else. I'm trying to preach the Lord here. We're trying to.
Oh yeah.
Should show you the light here. These little nerd candies are just like the best. There we go. Now my beer's gonna taste like shit because I ate candy. Oh, so good. The ropes are still good. I think I haven't had them in a long time, but
I like the ropes better.
Candy's better, or the circle is better.
You think the clusters is what they're called. They're called clusters. Gummy clusters.
The clusters are better. I can admit that.
Tangy and crunchy outside, sweet and gummy inside.
The new clusters, the old clusters, I didn't like them. But
did you get the rainbow ones or the ones in the blue bag?
I didn't know there was a difference, to be honest.
There's two. Yeah, there's actually 2 or 3 different flavors too.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, shit. We're going back to Walmart and grabbing some different flavors.
Yeah, there's a blue bag, there's this pink bag, and I believe there's a third. I may be wrong, but I believe there's a third one. Rainbow, and the other one's like blue. It's like a blue raspberry flavor or something like that.
Pyromed says, I prefer Lindt chocolate. Now, I do know that.
Fancy stuff there.
I do know. Well, do you know that brand? Because I don't.
Yeah, that's like fancy chocolate.
So I was gonna say too. I know that like overseas they have different chocolates than we do, and then their chocolate apparently is superior to American.
Yeah, I mean, PowerMad is in the UK.
Right.
Drinks his tea with his pinky up, so of course he has the fancy chocolate as well.
That's right. Of course of course. Kobe says, I'll send you some gummies that will rock your jeeving world. I'm assuming you're talking about the dispensary gummies.
Maybe they are, though. Maybe they are.
Maybe. I mean, that's a great idea. I mean,
yeah, dude, you know how I am with that stuff, man. I'm so glad y'all enjoyed yourself. If I was there, I would have been out. I would have been away from all of you, hiding in a car or something, locked in, like outside, away from no way. Absolutely not.
No, I told you I didn't have the best reaction to it this time around. I was a little bit like anxious, and also like it was bringing out some of the worst emotions as well. Like I was really relaxed and happy and giggling, but I also was like having these like the things that you like the things that you put in the back of your mind and don't want to think about, like, were coming to my forefront. I'm like, no, stay back, stay please. I'm trying to enjoy this candy.
I'm telling you, man. I end up in a place. If I ever do that, I end up it's like, oh my God, like I'm so paranoid and worried about everything. Like, I am a terrible father. What am I doing with my life? I am a terrible father. My kids hate me.
Yeah.
What am I doing? And then the next day you're like, that was a little extreme.
Yeah.
That was a little extreme. I think everybody's okay. I don't think anybody hates me. I'm doing all right as a dad.
It's not like beer where you can drink. I feel like you can drink like beer and you can. It doesn't like, I know beer's a depressant, technically alcohol's a depressant, but I feel like for the most part, I just kind of get relaxed, a little buzz, and as long as I don't get overly drunk, obviously. I don't.
Usually a lot of the stuff where the depression part of alcohol comes like next day. People get a lot of anxiety and stuff from it, like the next day. That's usually.
I haven't experienced that. I've not been aware to that.
I guess that's a thing. I don't really have that. I mean, I have anxiety all the time, so it doesn't matter. Like, it's not gonna.
PowerMed says.
It doesn't matter.
PowerMed says I had Hershey gummies. Or
Hershey chocolate once and
Hershey chocolate.
Afterwards. Oh, get out. That's the good stuff, man. Made right up the road in PA.
Do you know how some people eat cilantro and think it's like soap? I think the same thing happens with chocolate. Like, I can see what people mean when they say our chocolate tastes like throw up. Like, once you realize, like, oh, it kind of does. Like, once you taste
Dude, don't say that.
Like, once you taste it, you can never undo. Like, when I eat Hershey's now, I'm like, there's a little bit of barf in here. Little bit of barf. Just a little bit of barf.
Stop.
This is a Nintendo podcast, I swear, but we're talking about edible gummies, drinking beer, and candy.
We're in the pre-show. It's fine.
Yeah. It also is indicative of how irrelevant Nintendo is right now, and they have nothing to fucking talk about.
There's nothing going on anyway. Don't even talk about Nintendo.
Why is everyone here? Why we just leave? There's nothing. This is an empty podcast. We're just gonna bullshit.
We'll see you guys later in the year when they.
Yeah. See ya.
When they.
Bye.
They bring the Switch too. We'll do that.
Oh, I was flat on my chair.
All right. I'm looking over the set list here.
Are you now?
I'm gonna let you drive most of tonight.
Oh
I'm gonna
boy.
Just kinda,
oh boy, I was hoping you'd drive. This was your idea after all.
Okay. Listen.
How about this? We'll drive together.
You have one hand on the wheel. I'll have the other hand on the wheel, like this.
If that's how you want to describe it, yeah.
Okay.
Think about it. Oh, excuse me. Excuse my burp. I apologize for that. Did not mean to do that. That sounded weird. Play that sound again. Your shit is weird, man.
Dude, nothing's weird. It's you. You're weird.
Listen to this podcast after the episode's done with tonight. You listen back to this and you listen to that cha-ching. I'm telling you, you sound weird tonight.
Okay. Well, I don't mean to sound weird. I'm sorry.
Or maybe it's a noise suppression. Maybe I turn that off now.
It's not on that.
Your convoluted system over there, I don't know how you have things set up.
Oh, it's wild. Let me tell you. It's not a... I can check.
I'm happy. I'd rather not have the ability to share my audio like that, like you can, if it means that I can have a not complicated setup.
It's not that complicated. I just changed. It's not. All I do is change the input device to the wavelength output that I would put out to my stream instead of just a microphone. That's the only thing.
Okay.
And then everything else just goes through wavelength. I have to turn you down so you're not doubled. But other than that,
while we got you guys hanging in the chat, we appreciate you. You guys are kind of lurking right now. It's all good. Mentioned a couple of things. We'll say it again. We'll reiterate it on the actual episode. I was a guest. I forgot to put the link in there. I was a guest on the Communication Era podcast. John Ebo, who's been on the show a few different times, and Cheesy, who was on most recently, on recently. I was a guest with them. Drip, you were going to be, but had to back out last second, which is fine.
But I'll be there next time for sure.
Yeah,
I'm jealous that I didn't get to be there, honestly.
We had a great time. You guys obviously go find the Communication Era podcast, wherever you guys find podcasts, and check out that episode where I was a guest on. It was a great conversation. It was a lot of fun.
I still haven't got to listen to it either.
Yeah, listen to it. It was good.
I can't wait. Honestly, I forgot about it until you mentioned it today. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Because I meant to ask you when it was going to be out.
Yeah. And then also want to mention you guys, we have a sponsor for today's episode. So if you want to go in the description right now, you can get 10% off using code DRIPMedia. For
Drip Media Gaming.
Is it Drip Media Gaming?
It is Drip Media Gaming is the code. 10% off.
I got to fix that then. I thought it was Drip Media. Media Gaming. There we go. Drip Media Gaming, 10% off of the bad boys. Show them off, Drip. Show off the boys that we sponsoring today, or we are sponsored by. There you go. The DOYOKY Epoch Joy-Con controllers. Drip did a video on them. If you didn't check out Drip's video, do that as well. Not linked down below, but Drip's channel is, so go check it out. They're awesome. Like, we always say this, but we only kind of take stuff that we really like anyway. So we say that we like them, and we're paid to like them as well. But it's all true. They're very good.
Well for everyone.
Yes.
We actually like them. We get them, and we get paid.
Yes.
You can't really beat that. They are good, though. I do like these. I think I'll say this when we start talking about them, but I told you, usually, I mean, I do a lot of reviews of things like this at this point. Yeah. So usually once one is done, I'm on to the next. But these ones have stayed.
Dude, they're not leaving. They're not leaving. I mean, I'm having to reconsider.
These ones are good, man.
I'm having to reconsider my case situation because they don't fit in the satisfied big boy. The satisfied big
huge,
boy.
Man.
They don't fit in there.
They are massive.
Yeah. So I need to reconsider how I might just like hold my Switch like in my hand going upstairs. I usually keep it in my case, but I don't know. I got to figure out a way to deal with that. That's kind of a problem. They're too big.
Yeah,
man.
they're good. They're good.
I really like.
I mean,
they're comfortable.
We talked about the rainbow.
Yes.
Like usually you were saying the same thing. Usually I turn the rainbow off. Like give me just a solid color. This rainbow looks so good.
It's so a good honest to God, I am not the rainbow guy. For the most part, like I'll show you on my my scene here. You can see it already, Drip. But like this guy here, this logo that's spinning over here in the corner. I have it on a couple colors right now, but I can have it on more if I want. I don't like the rainbows. 1-2 colors max. But like for some reason the Epoch, like the DOYOKY did a really good job with the rainbow. Like it's so smooth. It's so good.
Yeah, it's very subtle that it's even like spinning or moving, which I appreciate it. It's cool.
That's right.
It's cool. I do.
Sims thought it was a good
I've been
podcast. Thank you, Sims. Appreciate you. Sims is one of the reasons why we're linked up with Johnny in the first place. Sims is the one who tweeted it.
Thanks,
us.
Sims.
Yeah. Thanks, Sims.
Appreciate that.
Making new friends. Cool shit. All right, you want to get this episode underway, Drip?
Yeah, sure. Let me grab a fresh
Cayman Jack.
margarita. I'll let you pick, G. What do you think? Watermelon or mango? What am I gonna do?
Mango. I see like mango. Throwback. There you go. Chug your margarita. And one more reminder, guys, before we start the episode, please like the stream. It would help us out a ton. Also, I'm going to mention the show as well. Make sure to leave us a 5-star review on Apple or Spotify. And if you leave it on Apple, you can leave a written comment as well, telling the world why you like this podcast. And I recommend you do that, because there's going to be a segment in the near future where we read those comments. So if you want your comment read live on the episode, make sure to go ahead.
Mega, try the spacing. Drip Media Gaming with the spaces. That's how they told me. And it was capital D, capital M, capital G with spaces.
So in lowercase other letters?
Yeah. That's how they sent it to me.
Okay. You should have told me all of this. You didn't tell me any of that.
I didn't know if it was going to matter. Clearly it does.
What? Oh, you mean the spacing and everything. Okay.
Yeah, I just figured it would work. I don't know. I have it right here. Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Okay. I'm fixing it in the description so you guys can just copy and paste it.
Yeah. The discount code is Drip Media Gaming, 3 separate words, capital every word.
Yes. There you go.
Okay. Glad to get that sorted out.
Cool. Yo, Hero, what's up, man?
Hero, yo, what's up?
Spaces work. Sweet. Thank you, Mega Boyd.
There it is.
Code Drip Media Gaming, spaces in between Drip Media Gaming. It would have been less complicated if it was just one word.
Just one word, I know.
You fucked it up, Drip.
I didn't ask for this code, Jeeb. I didn't ask for it. They just gave it to me.
Well,
I said, hey, by the way, what's our code?
Yeah. So you guys go ahead and
thank it's Drip Media Gaming. And I was like, why can't it be Drip and Jeeb? Because we already made this. I'm like, alrighty.
You guys can thank DOYOKY for that. It is for the code. So thank you, DOYOKY, for that. And thank you for sponsoring the episode that we're about to do. So let's topple down that music, Drip. Just push it over. Push it off the cliff. Watch it fall. Lenny kicked it off the cliff. Good. Let's go. This podcast was brought to you by Uncle Jeep Productions. Hey everyone, welcome to the Drip G Podcast. I'm your host, Uncle Jeep, and with me is Hoster Media Gaming. We record this podcast live on YouTube every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can leave us a review of 5 stars on Apple or Spotify. Make sure to do that. Get your comment read live on the air. We'll do that probably in a segment next week. Drip! Today's episode. Nintendo has been a little bit uncharacteristic with how they release games right now. That's no secret. We've talked about that. But also kind of when it comes with Zelda as well. We've kind of had, last few years actually, it's been a little bit inconsistent. Now, there's been explanations for that, but it's still true that it's been a little bit uncharacteristic. And we'll kind of dive on that little topic tonight and expand on it, as we usually do. But for now, Drip, I'm going to ask you midweek, how was your week? Because last week, we didn't have an episode. So you've had a week and a half.
A full week to catch up on
You have a week and a half to think about. How was your last week and a half?
Kids are on spring break. They were here from Wednesday to...
I was wondering why you had them all that time. That's why.
Yeah, okay. Spring break. But man, they got totally screwed on spring break this year.
Why is that?
I mean, they only technically got like 4 days off. They got Thursday, Friday last week, and then Monday and Tuesday this week. So their spring break was like the week. Yeah,
that's boo.
Yeah, I know, man. That's what I said.
That's not spring break.
It's ridiculous. I know, but
that's horse crap.
They were here, you know. The bunny came, brought some. Oh man, they specifically, my 2 little ones specifically requested that the bunny bring Fortnite squirt guns. Okay,
your kids are addicted, man.
They love Fortnite. It's nuts. It's nuts. But yeah, so we got like 6 Fortnite squirt guns.
Did you indulge in the activity of squirting
okay, so listen,
with the guns?
We went outside. I'm like, listen, guys, it's a little cold. It's not like super warm. You can go out there and shoot these things, whatever. Just don't like kill each other. Don't get super wet, whatever. Like just whatever. Their clothes are still sitting right here soaked. I'm still trying to dry the shoes in the dryer. That was what the dryer was on for, because I'm trying to dry the shoes that they were wearing. So they were out there by themselves, the two little ones. Of course, the older one, she's too cool for that. She's not hanging out doing any
too
of
cool
that
for
stuff.
school.
So they're out there, and then all of a sudden I hear like yelling, screaming. I'm like, what the hell is happening in my backyard? My brother, who lives beside me, was also outside. Came out, saw them outside, brought his two kids outside. So I walk out. I'm like, okay, well, I'm like making food, so I'll be out in a minute. Like I told them, like, hey, don't squirt these kids, guys. Like, it's a little cold, whatever. Next thing I know, I come back out again. The neighbors from across the street are over here in my backyard as well with their kids. All the kids are in my backyard having a giant water fight. They're all soaked. My backyard is a pit of mud.
Oh, no.
So everything I said about not getting too wet went completely out the window. Then they started squirting me, and I was like, no, this ain't happening. So I got the water hose out and just demolished all of them.
Big Dad comes in with the hose.
Yeah.
Did you have your dad pants on, tucked into your shirt?
Yeah.
With your dad's belt?
Yeah. Laughing and squirting. Yeah. Oh yeah. It was a classic dad move. I'm
very good.
Gonna say I'm very proud of it. I executed it almost flawlessly.
What would you, when you look back in your life, would you ever think you'd be that guy, that dad?
No,
like,
but you know what? I'm proud to be him. I'm proud to be him today, G. Proud to be him.
I'm proud of you as well. I'm proud of you.
It was great. It was a good time.
You and your kids are so cute. You're so cute, Drew.
You know, we do what we do. Other than that, we didn't do much. We hung out here. We did some other stuff. You had an eventful week.
I did.
Some of the reason we didn't do
that's correct.
Podcast too.
That is correct.
I used that to my advantage, actually. But
you did. You kind of snuck it in there. He calls me on the way back from a very stressful day, a positive stressful day, but it's still stressful. And he was like, "Hey, you want to like not do that podcast tonight?" And I was like, "You know, you caught me at a good time to answer that question."
I know I caught you at a good time.
It's raining. We're on our way back from an hour-plus drive while in the rain. The car full of me and Abby's parents, and I'm like, you know what? This is I think this is a good time to not do this podcast because my parents came into town from the Philly area. Obviously, you guys know if you listen for a while. I'm in the Chicago area right now, but they drove in from the Philly area to see me. It's been a little bit of time to spend a little bit of time with us. And so this is really the first time Abby's parents and my parents have had like a long time spending time with each other, like more than just like an afternoon or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's been, if they've seen them, it's been like in an evening for dinner, and then they
How'd
leave.
that go?
It went great, honestly.
Yeah?
I think it was. You know, a lot of things could have happened, as people out there know who have in-laws and parents.
Oh yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Things, especially just like for one time seeing them, things can happen. But as far as like spending a whole week together, living in the same house, things can happen. But nothing happened. It was very good. I'm very glad everyone got along, and you know, it was a fun time. I'm glad that we had that time together. Yeah.
How long did they stay?
A week. They came in on a Sunday evening, and they left on a Saturday morning.
Nice.
So just under a week. Yeah.
That's good. That is wonderful. Yeah. Wonderful to hear.
That's right. One little quick other life thing for me. Abby and I are signing our papers tomorrow evening, and officially we have a date for real, not just a we want date, an actual date. It'll be in 2026 now. We've moved it to 2026
Oh God! What? Hold on.
We
this
did
is
do
news
that.
to me.
This is news to you. Yeah.
What? Why?
Yeah. You want to give me a few $1,000s and ask me that question again?
But that affects me and my party time.
I know.
To wait a whole nother year now.
It's not a whole year. It's like I think we've added like 8 months to it to give ourselves more time to be able to afford it.
I'm trying, dude.
Well, it's money, dude. It's money.
I'm trying to celebrate your love, and you won't let me do it. You
will do it. You will do it a lot. You just have to wait till April of 2026 instead of July of 2025.
You are just like Nintendo. Do you just delay?
What a
You just
segue!
delay,
What a segue!
delay.
The king
You
of
give me
segues.
nothing this
I
year
am
at
not
all.
worthy. I am not
do
worthy.
I even get anything in 2025? No. 2026. You're just like Nintendo, Jeep.
Oh, Drip, tell me more about that. This is your segue. This is yours. You can have
Well,
it.
Jeep, it's been a
that's
very
the best.
strange.
Johnny would be embarrassed. Johnny would be embarrassed of this segue because that's how good it is. Because he's not good at them.
I say. I mean, listen, Nintendo's been a little weird this year. We know why. We're waiting on the new Switch. They've pushed focus other places, but it's been very strange. And a lot of what we really want to talk about today is more focused in on Zelda, not fully Nintendo. But I really want to talk about what we can expect going forward this year, next year, in the future with the mainline franchise, the 2D stuff, the spin-offs. But as weird as they've been, and as messed up as things have been this year, I mean, what was the biggest? What's the biggest game we're getting this year that we know of right now?
Princess Peach.
Is that the biggest one? Are we considering that the biggest one?
It's the only new thing. The Thousand Year Door is an old game.
Thing, but I feel like Thousand Year Door is like a way bigger deal than Princess Peach.
I would agree with that from a hype level and from the fact that Mario is a much bigger IP than Peach is just in its infancy as an IP.
Did you play the demo, the Peach demo, before we get like?
Yeah, I did.
Man,
not good.
It's really, really easy.
It's not good. I'm sorry. Like I'll be the first to tell you here.
Yeah,
it's not good.
I don't know.
But
the kids loved it.
Drip.
We haven't bought it yet.
I believe we touched on this on the Communication Error podcast, and I want to remind people, I did remind you last episode when it was a select episode, but I was a guest on the Communication Error podcast, and thank you for Johnny and Cheesy for having me. What a lovely time that was. You can just search them up anywhere you can find a podcast. It was a great episode, and I believe we touched on the Princess Peach thing. I don't remember, though, but either way, even if I did or didn't, go check out the episode. But in regards to how Princess Peach is, it's not meant for you or I. Right? I mean, I think we did.
Oh, no.
This is a game meant for younger women. And I think that's good. That's a good thing. It's not a bad thing that it is.
Boys can enjoy it too.
Yeah. Like, we're just talking about demographic here. Like, it's not like bigot. You're not being a bigot by saying the demographic is something. The demographic for the game is for the younger girls. But anybody can enjoy it. I think a grown-ass adult can enjoy it as well. A young boy or an old boy, like, it doesn't matter. Like, men or women alike can. I'm not saying that nobody can. Only women can enjoy it. What I'm saying is, its demographic is they're trying to get to the young woman.
My two younger daughters have played the demo through several times.
Yeah.
They keep getting sidetracked by Fortnite and the Battle Pass and things that they're trying to do with that.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, they're like, can we get that game? And I'm like, yeah, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. I just
forget about regardless of whether it's for a boy or a girl or a non-binary or whatever. Forget about that part for a second. It's meant for younger audience. And then that is the main point I'm trying to get at.
I had absolutely zero reason to play more than half a level. I was like, okay, I get this. This is, and I've seen what some of the levels are. Whatever. Okay, we got that. We got that's out. That's done.
Yeah.
So the only two things we have left now, we've got Luigi's Mansion, whatever, HD.
I'm more excited for that. I'm not even getting it over Princess Peach. Like, I'm just disappointed over Princess Peach. I was disappointed. I expected more out of it. But that's the thing.
Going to be a little more than it actually was.
I know I brought it up again. We were trying to move on. I want to bow it up real fast for me. It's not meant for me, and that's okay. And that's okay.
Meant for me.
Like, it's so I don't hate Nintendo for it. I don't hate Princess Peach for it. I don't hate the game. It's not meant for me, and that's okay. Not everything has to be for you, and that's fine. So that's my bow.
All right. It's a nice bow. So we got, what was it? Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, and we've got 1,000 Year Door. That's it.
That's correct.
Oh no, the underwater game. What's it called? Blue Ocean.
They did publish it, but is it really a Nintendo
published game?
It's not a Nintendo game.
That's it. They're not going to do that. They're not going to just put just that stuff out. So we know there's going to be other games. Now, before we get too far into this and really get into the weeds on this Zelda stuff, I want a Endless Ocean. That's it. Thank you, Power Mad. I want to touch on the direct rumors for this month.
You'll touch them all right, and then immediately take your finger off.
Yeah, that's not happening. That is, dude, there's not going to be a direct. First off, I think this is pretty like known to people who just take a second and look at what's going on. Yeah, it's a weird year. We don't have a lot of stuff coming because they're moving everything to the Switch 2. Everybody's doing that shit now. You know what I mean? They've already moved on. We're going to get the bare minimum from Nintendo this year. I don't think they're going to shut the machine off. I've used that phrase or whatever a lot over the past couple of months. They're not going to shut down the machine and just wait and restart it back up whenever they tell us about the Switch 2. There's going to be some stuff. There's not going to be enough to do a full Nintendo Direct on. And they just did a partner showcase. So what the fuck is going to be in a Direct? Like,
and you and I had talked about this on the phone in the past week or so.
Yeah. The other day, yeah.
The thing with the Direct rumor is that a Direct is not just games that are coming out right now. There are also games coming for the future. And this is a surprise. This should be a surprise to nobody when I say there is no future for the Nintendo Switch as we know it. It's for the Switch 2.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like maybe an April Direct would be like, you know, let's just say there is an April Direct. What could we see in that Direct? Well, of course, they could kind of reiterate Princess Peach's success, but they probably wouldn't do that because the game already came out.
Because it probably didn't do that well.
They could remind you about we just mentioned again and Paper Mario again, which they probably will. They will do that because again it's light on content.
But they're doing that on Twitter right now. Like they do it every day.
But after that, what do? So if they have a game coming soon, there's usually in a Direct the way they kind of have it is there's a couple games coming soonish. Within the next couple months or so. There's games coming out relatively soon within the next few months, like, 5, 6 or so. And then there's games that either don't have dates or are for quote unquote the next year, 2025, if you will, for this reference. That would imply that there's at least like 5 announcements coming out of a Direct, new announcements for the Switch, not the Switch 2. Are they really going to wait all this time into April just to drop 5 games for a console that's going to be dead the second the last game arrives?
No.
Like what I'm trying to say is we're literally out of time.
Yeah,
like,
it's done.
We could get a Direct, but it's probably going to be a partner Direct or a mini Direct or a combination of the two or something like that. There is not enough content currently, and there's not even enough time to add more content from Nintendo to get a Direct out. Because we already know the reason why we haven't heard anything about the Switch 2 yet is because they delayed it, and the reason they delayed it is because they're all hands on deck for the next console.
Yeah.
So they're not working on games for the Switch. They're not doing it.
No, there's absolutely no reason to have a Direct.
It would be stuff that is already done.
And why are we going to do a Direct for that?
Well, we could. We still could. If there's enough.
You mean, okay, I thought you meant that was already announced. I'm sorry.
No.
Things that are already done. Yeah, things that are done.
Things that are already done.
But that's the thing. Whatever's coming the rest of this year, it's been done. Everybody's moved on. They're not working on this anymore. Whatever the rest of the things we are going to get this year, chances are very good that these things are already done. I don't know if you noticed, I was looking down at my phone here. We did just get a little bit of Zelda news live.
You're kidding.
It's
breaking news.
It's breaking Zelda news. Now, hold on. I just put it in the Discord in the Nintendo. It's not like a game or anything. It's a toy. But it's the new Good Smile Company Link Tears of the Kingdom action figure. And it is absolutely beautiful. It looks amazing. It is so cool. I don't know if you know anything about Good Smile.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. Sorry, I opened it up and it's yelling music at me. Sorry, audio listeners. Apologize.
Oh my God. It's so cool, dude. It's so cool. It's so cool.
I'm sorry again. I don't know why it unmuted itself.
It's got
there we go.
It's got a glider and it's got a rocket that you can strap to it.
We're looking at it right now, Drew. Breaking news. We're watching it on the show.
Oh, it's so cool.
Now. If you're only listening to this podcast, make sure to go head over to our YouTube.
Oh, I want this so bad.
To check out the video here. It is
it's pre-order right now.
That is a sick toy, dude. Oh my God, the smoke The smoke coming out of it, oh my god, or not smoke, I'm sorry. The glow is what the word I was trying to find. The glow coming out of the rocket.
Yeah, that's probably fake. It probably doesn't really look like that. That's probably
sure?
for the ad.
Oh, that's true. Where would the batteries be? I guess they're okay. Well, either way,
it might light up. I bet it doesn't look like that though. Look how nice that thing is. Ooh, I want it. I'm buying it.
That's really good. Totally sidetracked though.
Yeah. Okay.
As we were saying,
I'm sorry. I had
good.
Breaking Zelda news during the Zelda episode. I had to. Had to happen. Okay. I don't think we're gonna get a direct. I think the rest of this stuff. I only think like let's look at this real quick. We're in May.
No, we're in April.
We're in April. You're right. My bad. We're in April.
But you reminded me of just reminded me of a sound that we're gonna have for May.
It's gonna be May.
It's gonna be May.
Yeah,
wait.
Don't worry.
Oh wait, no. May? This is the month. This is the month. April is the month. You have.
Okay. We'll get it. I'll put it.
We're getting it. It's gonna be May.
So we got April. We got May, June, July, August. So I mean, we've got a decent amount of the year left. But how many of these months do you think are actually going to have a Nintendo release? I would say, other than the ones we have right now, the two coming, 3. Are we counting Endless Ocean? We count, right?
Yeah, we're counting it.
So I think we're gonna get 3 more games. 3 more games from Nintendo. I don't think that's enough for a direct. I think those are all announced on Twitter. We may see something of that this month.
So
July would be a great time to drop a Zelda game. Jeep.
I have a proposal. So we have 9 months, including April. 9 months left in this year. We have 3 of those months are occupied by a game. It is May, June, and September. Is that Endless Ocean?
Yes, I think. I don't know.
Something like that. But it is 3 separate months, so we have Nintendo games coming out. That is only 33% of the year, the rest of the year, where there's a Nintendo release. Under 45% of the rest of the year, next 9 months, having a Nintendo release in it. We're already at 33%. We basically just need one more game. Is that the math?
I think over.
It might be the math.
Over. I'll take the. I don't know the math, but
I am taking the under.
So you think there's only going to be one more game?
I'm going to be wrong on that, probably because of math. But basically, what I'm saying is maximum one more game. Maximum.
Okay. I think that's too little. I think they'll probably have a few more.
Yeah.
2 to 3. I think one of them is going to be a Zelda game. I mean,
Well, let's talk about that, Drip. Let's talk about that. What Zelda game do you think is if they put one out this year?
I don't know. Wouldn't want to speculate. I am now a Nintendo leaker, though.
Oh, me too. It's good.
That's right. You are too. Yeah. I'm glad we're leakers now, so we can actually talk about these things more legitimately.
Oh yeah.
I think this year we're getting one of 2 things. I mean, the remake port thing. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a remake of a 3D game. I think that's too big for this year. If it's a remake, I think it'll be a 2D remake or a port of a 2D game possibly.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say it because it's easy and I'm not allowed to talk about it anyway. So you can say those ones, but it's only the one. It's only going to be the one at C. I'm not allowed to say it. I'm not allowed to talk about it because it's after February.
That's right.
Can you say it, please?
I'm actually not going to say it. Everyone knows what you're talking about, but I'm not going to say it because I'm using. I have that card available to me, and I'm going to use it.
I'm going to throw up if you don't say it. It's going to make me. Oh.
Well, this will be an interesting rest of the podcast then.
I'll just start tweaking. Oh man. Okay. You know what Zelda game I'm talking about. I'm not allowed to say it because I'm not allowed to talk about it. The ones with the boats. The one with the boat.
Shh, that's enough.
I didn't say it. The one with the boat.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the one. If it's going to be one of those 2, and I know we've talked about this 100 times. We don't really need to get into that any further. But I think that'll be the one. I'm really, really feeling a 2D Zelda for this year, though. And I've explained this to you. And let me just give you some of my reasoning, just so everyone else can hear. But I've told you about this. I just feel like we got last year, we got Mario Wonder. the 2D version of Nintendo's main franchise, which we hadn't seen a 2D version of, a side-scrolling version of Mario in quite some time. A new one. We got what? New, whatever the hell they called it. Super Mario Bros. Wii U Deluxe, whatever it was.
Bowser's Power Theory, Badooch.
Yeah, whatever it is. We got that, which was a port. It wasn't a new game. Mario Maker 2, but does that even count? Yes, it is.
Yes.
I mean, there's tons of levels. So we got that.
It's kind of a spin. It's actually, I would look at that more as a spin-off game.
Yeah, okay. That's fair. We got that. But we haven't had a brand new 2D Mario in quite some time. And people were saying at that point, like, is it even, like, what are they going to do anything? And even when we found out before the Direct when they announced it, I mean, you remember my take on it. Like, what are they going to do with 2D Mario? Like, what are they going to do? We've seen it all. And look what they did. Like, they made a fantastic game, nominated for Game of the Year. It was wonderful. It was wonder. It was a wonder.
It was. And the rest of our audience left because Drip used the bad pun.
I didn't even do that on purpose.
Well, then you typically say no pun intended.
You know? Okay, well, that was.
I'm wondering why you said no pun intended.
My point is, Zelda could do the same thing. A lot of people do think the 2D Zeldas are dead. Because a lot of them did live, not all of them, but a lot of them did live on handhelds. A lot of the 2D stuff lived on handhelds. That's the difference in the Mario and the Zelda thing, too, if you think about it. A lot of the 2D stuff, like the whole way. I mean, I know we had, before we had 3D Marios, or I'm sorry, 3D Zeldas, they were all 2D. But once we got 3D Zelda, like all the 2D stuff started going to the handhelds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like once we got 64, Ocarina of Time, a lot of the 2D stuff started going to the handhelds, and now we don't really have a handheld division. So a lot of people were like, oh, maybe it's gone. And how long has it been since we got A Link Between Worlds?
That would be 11 years, my friend.
And it's been even longer, even a ton longer since we've got a 2D Zelda on a new map.
Correct. Yeah, you were saying earlier. Go ahead.
Link Between Worlds. It's is it Spirit Tracks? I think. I may be wrong.
Yeah, that's what you said earlier. But you may
I think
be
it's
wrong.
Spirit Tracks was the last original 2D game that we had. I mean, I know
bro,
Link
that
Between
was
Worlds is original.
that was a DS game.
Yeah. And I know Link Between Worlds is original.
The last new map for a Zelda 2D game.
That's the thing.
No,
yeah,
completely.
That's the thing that's wild.
The last completely original Zelda 2D game was on the Nintendo DS.
Yeah,
that is decades, dude. We're
that's what I'm
talking
saying. I don't know
decades.
how long ago that came out. Oh, I do.
Spirit Tracks, I want to say is 07.
I'm going to tell you right now.
One of them was like 05. One was like 07. Because then you had the other game that kind of spinned off Spirit Tracks, or vice versa. Can't remember.
Link Between Worlds was 2013.
That's correct.
Spirit Tracks was on the DS in 2009.
Okay. Yep. So then, but the other game
December
was
7th, 2009 was Spirit Tracks.
That's actually
Hourglass was 2007.
Phantom Hourglass. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the last time we've got a brand new original 2D game, not taking anything from anything else. Because, Link Between Worlds takes one of the best 2D maps there is, in my opinion, which is fine. I love the fact that they went back and did that. And we're going to talk a little bit more about reusing maps later that we discussed before we went live for the 3D stuff. But I think this is it, man. I think that 2D Zelda at the end of the Switch's life, kind of moving into the next thing. We got the 2D Mario. Let's do the 2D Zelda. Let's bring it back. I'd rather have a new 2D Zelda. I would be totally fine with the Link Between Worlds as the port. I'd be fine with that, but I really want a new 2D Zelda. I want to see them do something like what they did with Mario Wonder. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, make me think, like, oh, what else can you do with a 2D Zelda? We've seen it all with 2D Zelda. You can only do so much, but do something like they did with, I mean, even A Link Between Worlds actually had a pretty badass gimmick. the flattening thing where you can get onto
That
the
is
walls.
my
Like,
favorite gimmick
dude,
of any.
It's so cool.
I think I like that gimmick better than even like Ultra Hand in like the 3D game.
Ooh.
Like I'll be honest, like for that game, I'm not saying I dislike Ultra Hand. What I'm saying is
I know
that specific, because that was the only gimmick. Like Kira's Kingdom, you have there's a wheel of gimmicks. You know, like it's not fair. But as far as in one individual gimmick, that is my favorite gimmick of all Zelda games. I love the painting thing. It literally adds, like, no pun intended, it adds a dimension to the game that doesn't exist. Like, you're top down 2D, then suddenly the game becomes a side-scrolling platformer, kind of.
Yeah,
and it's
platforming,
really,
but it is side-scrolling.
Right, side-scrolling. It kind of platform. I mean, kind of. It's not up or down platform, but it is like side-to-side. I don't know. The point is, it's an awesome feature and really creative. Yeah. And I think that's why I like that game so much more than the Link's Awakening remake on Switch, because there is nothing creative about that. But
No,
it's just,
God, that game's old as hell, though, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm not dissing.
I like that they did it.
I'm just explaining why I'm explaining why I don't like it that much.
I really, really enjoyed that. But you know, that original game came out in 1993.
Hey, Drip, you asked me how old I was in 1993.
You weren't born.
I was in a spermy sack.
God, how old was I?
I probably was alive if you know.
I was like 6.
I was probably alive if you look at it like I was in a living creature.
You were
at that
out there,
point.
man. Dude, you were out there. You were
in '93. I was a creature. I was exactly.
Putting out the feelers, just seeing what's up. That's it.
I wasn't putting out any feelers. You know. Hey.
Oh. Okay.
Hey, really awkward point, Drip, but we should probably talk about something. It's really awkward. No, I'm not gonna do that. We're gonna talk about something else first. Keep going. Act natural. Act natural.
What? What?
Nothing. Yeah. What were you were about to say something? I interrupted you.
Okay. Oh hell, I don't know. I lost my train of thought. It's been a while.
It's my
All
fault.
I'm saying is I want to see them do something new.
Yeah.
I want to see. Oh man, please don't go into stain covers. I just want to see a new 2D Zelda. I would much rather see a new 2D Zelda, and I feel like now's a great time for them to do it, because it's not like something that they're going to try to push a system with anyway. But it definitely is a game that people are going to be like, oh shit, 2D Zelda. Like, I will pick up a Switch to play a 2D. There are definitely people out there who would do that. You know what I mean? It's something that would keep the thing moving at the end of the life cycle. And that's a big thing to keep it moving right there at the end. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I agree with you. Mario Wonder.
I really think not only do we need a game for this year that is not a remake or port, I think Nintendo needs it as much as the fans need it, right? I mean, I don't think it's even a discussion.
Yeah,
really.
I'm dying for a 2D Zelda at this point, man.
I mean,
I want a 2D Zelda
again,
so bad.
We want it as well, really bad, but like I said a second ago, Nintendo needs it more than we do. They need that. Where are they getting their cash this year? How are they going to keep their investors happy by not putting out any games? There's got to be something coming out. Now, if we can argue about how many, right? 1, 2, 4, 5, whatever.
I will say this, regardless of how many you say, however many I say, I would say that's probably going to be the only new game.
I would agree
other than
with
the
that.
Peach game we already got, like that's it.
And if we do get one new game that is a new game, Johnny has to eat a chip, and I like that idea.
Oh yeah, the one chip challenge.
Yeah, we're gonna.
I forgot about that. Yeah,
I think the podcast, our podcast channel here, will react to him eating that chip. I think we'll do that.
Oh, we will.
Or they can have us on the show.
I forget.
When they do it.
You said you haven't done it, right?
No, I haven't.
Let me tell you something, dude.
I don't think I do well with it.
Let me tell you about that chip.
I would throw up. I'd throw up.
I mean, you watch. It's on the internet. You can go watch me do it.
I'm a throw up.
I thought I was gonna die. I was like, after the video stopped, when we made it, I told Sean, I was like, I think you're gonna take me to the hospital, man. Something's going on in my stomach. I am in trouble. I'm in big trouble here. Something is wrong. But anyway, I'd like to see a new 2D Zelda. If we get it, it's probably gonna be the only new game. There's got to be something new close to holiday, right?
I don't know about new, but there's got to be something, right? There's got to be something. I think we already know about Pokemon. Have we even talked about that in this show yet? We have. Yeah, we did an episode about that.
Yeah, it's not going to be there.
The Legends game. It's not this year. There's still possibility that the Pokemon company will put something out this year. It's possible. And there's been those rumors of Black and White remake. Was it Black and White? I think there's been rumors of that. Again, a remake, not a new game. But that would be something, and would make the money. Pokemon always makes the money. So I think if all else fails for Nintendo, they're gonna ask the Pokemon company to put some garbage out. Something. And it's not like they haven't rushed something out quick in the past.
Man, it makes so much sense to me. This Zelda, because that's another thing we haven't mentioned either. Nintendo says they are on record saying they want a Zelda game out every year, and have they not almost delivered? Almost with the Switch, because that's what they started saying.
They have, Drip, and I want to get to the dates there as far as we have something pulled up we can reference. I'll have you reference it, but before we get to that, we do need to talk about today's sponsor, and today's sponsor is DOYOKY. Drip, first party Nintendo Joy-Cons. They're amazing. I think we all can agree. They're very nice technology. We very much enjoy them. I enjoy them. But unfortunately, they're just too uncomfortable to play with. I mean, we all need a grip or something to play with them, especially our adult hands. You can't. They're only good for short bursts. Can't use them for a long period of time.
Absolutely not.
Thankfully, Drip, DOYOKY reached out to us, and they might have just put a solution out for just about everybody.
Gee, they did. They did. It's right here.
They most certainly did there, Drip. I got the screen there. DOYOKY, the Epoch game controller, is a Joy-Con style controller that features an ergonomic, comfortable rubber grip, Hall effect joysticks with swappable stick caps, 6-color LED lights, wake-up turbo function. They're also wireless. They have gyro. They have programmable back buttons, lighting modes, and much more. Drip, I know you've been working with Binbach/DOYOKY for a while now. You have first-hand experience with many of their products, and even given them direct input on their feedback for their products for pre- and post-release.
This was one of them, actually.
It was.
Listen, I just want to say this about these things. You've already said basically everything needs to be said. I have a full video on it. You can go watch that if you want to check it out. I really do like these things. I review a lot of things like this, and usually after the review, I move on to the next thing. The next thing's on my Switch. These have stayed. Jeep. I really like these. They're very, very comfortable. But there is something else I need to talk about these. Is the fact that if you're listening to this, you're going to get a deal on these. If you want to go buy these, you can go to the website and you're going to get 10% off. All you have to do is use the code Drip Media Gaming, and there are spaces in that, capital letters. But we have it linked down below. So if you want to get these things, you want to get a deal on them, Jeeb, type in the code over on the website.
That's right. You can find the DOYOKY Epoch game controller with our links down below. Make sure to check out the description, like Drip just said, to get not only our discount code for 10% off, but the links where you can go purchase them for yourself. Thank you, DOYOKY, for sponsoring today's episode. Yeah! Love it. Drip. There's a history of Nintendo and releasing Zelda games, right? You have some of the dates in front of you. I figure it'd be kind of fun to go over. Yeah, well, I figure it'd be fun to go over some of those dates and kind of make our predictions based off of.
Okay. How far you want to go back?
Experience. All the way, baby.
Okay, we're going all the way. You ready for this? We're gonna go quick.
I'm ready.
Legend of Zelda was released. Hold on. North America, August 22nd, 1987. It was in 86. Just want to say 86, a month before I was born in Japan. That's cool. Link's Adventures of Link, Zelda 2.
I don't know.
That one came out December 1st, 1988. Link to the Past came out in 92, April 13th, 1992. Link's Awakening was August 6th, 1993. Ocarina of Time was November 23rd, 1998. That was a big one. Then 2 years later, on October 25th, 2000, we got Majora's Mask. Also on the 64. Then we got Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages, which was a handheld.
Yep.
We got those both on May 13th, 2001. I can't believe that was that long ago. Link to the Past and Four Swords was released on December 3rd, 2002.
Okay.
Wind Waker came out March 24th, 2003. Four Swords Adventure, skip that one. That was June 2004. So we're still every year here. Another 2004 release, November 12th, Minish Cap. Then the GOAT, December 2nd. I'm sorry, no. That is the Japanese release. The North American release was November 19th, 2006, Twilight Princess.
Do you know why that's also the GOAT drip? Not just because of the date. What was the year on that? 2000 what?
6.
I had just turned. Well, how old was I? That November 19th is my birthday. Twilight Princess was released on my birthday in 2006. That's why it's the GOAT, not because it's a good game. It's all about me, Drip. It's a G-Man Drip podcast.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I'm glad to hear that.
Sorry to ruin your flow. Keep going.
Where the hell was I? Twilight Princess Hourglass came out in 2007.
Yeah.
October 1st. Spirit Tracks was December 7th, 2009. Skyward Sword, the original, was 2011.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, I went to buy that at Kmart.
Oh my God, what a flashback.
Kmart, yeah.
Kmart.
Because they were open 24
Kmart
hours.
had a smell. It wasn't Walmart, but it
wasn't Target.
It was like
Kmart.
it was a different place there. It was.
They had like the best Star Wars toys. Like they had all of them. Like they had the best selection for sure. Mine did anyway. All right, so a link between worlds. That was 2013, November 22nd. Triforce Heroes. That was October 23rd, 2015. Breath of the Wild, we know, March 3rd, 2017.
The GOAT.
Tears of the Kingdom was May 12th. And then we got to go to the remakes. There's a whole list.
That's
of
interesting. That's actually interesting. So there is a common theme here. A lot of these dates are November. However, not all of them though. I thought more of them would have been. And we didn't go over the other two, which are not canon. Of course, we're talking about Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, which was 2018.
Yeah, the spinoffs.
The spinoff, and then the Hyrule Warriors, the Age of Calamity, that was in November. So
I'm looking for those
right
now.
Hyrule
Warriors, the original one, was, I guess that was on Wii U, right? September.
I have that one. You got it? Okay.
So that was on the Wii U, but it came to the Switch in 2018.
Yes, in May. Switch Zelda is May.
Okay.
Because Tears of the Kingdom, May. Breath of the Wild, May. Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, May. I don't know about Link's Awakening remake.
Breath of the Wild was not May. It was March.
Oh, I got mixed up with the M's. Okay, I take that back. Because then also Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity was not May, it was November 20th.
Oh, you know what else we forgot about too? Cadence of Hyrule.
Yeah, spinoff. It's less.
Too.
No offense to it, I do like the game a lot, but it's less of a spinoff than like Hyrule
point
Warriors.
Is, looking at these dates too on the Switch, when they said we want to get a Zelda game out every year, they've almost done it.
Almost.
2017, they had Breath of the Wild. 2018 was Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. 2019 was what? What was 2019?
Link's Awakening remake. Link's Awakening remake.
Oh yeah,
2019.
and Cadence of Hyrule came out that year too.
Okay. Then 2020 was Age of Calamity.
Age of Calamity, yes.
21 was Skyward Sword.
That's right. And then 2022 was supposed to be Tears of the Kingdom, but it was pushed. So the only year they missed was 2022.
That's
and just because, and I mean, you got to think about like what the situation was at that point.
So all that to say, Drip, is that they're very characteristic with Switch releases, and the reason 2022 didn't happen was because obviously Tears Kingdom got pushed, but they also didn't push the Wind Waker Twilight Princess. They didn't put those games out there, and we know those are pretty much finished, or like the other Grezzo ports.
Well, and they could, finished. Even if they're not. I mean, the whole thing is, it's like they haven't talked about them, and they're not going to say anything about it. But we've talked several times on this show. I know I've mentioned it. All it takes to get a Wii U port to the Switch. I mean, it's a small team in a couple months. It is not a big thing to do.
So they could have and should have put a game out then, but they didn't. But we forgive them for that. We understand why. This year, there's no excuses.
Do we, G?
No, we didn't forgive them that year. We were pretty pissed off. But this year, what the heck, man? Like, what's the excuse this year? Nothing's happening.
Yeah.
Nothing. But before we get to talk about that, we do have a super chat from Mega Boy. Thank you, Mega Boy, for your $1.99. He says, "Can you please provide the article where Nintendo?" And he follows to say,
about where they.
I know. I was just being a jerk.
Where they said.
I'm gonna read his. Let me read his comment. Jerk. He said, "Nintendo said they wanted to release a Zelda game every year. I've only ever found rumors of it, not actual Nintendo saying it." So Mega Boy, I've only heard rumors too, and the rumors come from Drip. So Drip,
Okay.
you have some explaining to do, my friend.
Okay, so they said it to someone in. I'm gonna have to go find it. It is not. It's not them actually saying it in an interview, but they said it. People were there when they said it. It was a conversation. It's a thing. They want to be putting Zelda games out every year. They have enough different areas and different things they do with that franchise that it's obviously we've seen it's feasible to do without just putting out shit. It's not like they're putting out a Zelda game every year. Like, oh, let's just do what Pokemon does and just pump them out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
We're getting quality remakes. We're getting spin-offs. We're getting cool stuff. But I will look for where I saw all that original stuff, and I will put that in the Discord because it wasn't them actually saying it to someone specifically. My uncle overheard it at a he's a janitor.
Yeah.
Yes, my uncle overheard it. He's a janitor at Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was. Yeah, so we'll go with that. But no, I'll find some more information on that. I'll put it in the Discord. Either way, they've basically done it. They've almost lived up to that. I think we'll get something this year. I think it's going to be later in the year. I think it's probably going to be the one thing they might be able to, to rest their arm on, to lean on for the rest of this year. But I kind of want to talk about something next year, and especially now that we've gone over these dates and we've seen kind of the trend of what's going on here. Next year, we're definitely not getting a new Zelda game, right? I'd say this year's probably not the remake, the port.
Well, I will say this, Drip, assuming that we get something this year, like a 2D Zelda, you're correct about that. But I would not assume that we're not getting anything next year, because I also wouldn't assume we're getting anything this year. So
okay. All I'm saying is,
I know I understand your point though. Yeah,
I feel like this is the year for the 2D, maybe. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Next year, your game, man. I told you this the other night. I texted you
I'm
late night. I was like, dude, next year's it. That's the year. It's perfect. The Hyrule Warriors imprisoning war.
Makes a ton of sense. I'll let you you're driving well, so you gotta keep on.
It does make sense. The timing's perfect. Tears of the Kingdom would have been out long enough to where it's like, it's kind of this. They waited a little bit longer with Breath of the Wild, didn't they? That came out 2020. What was the other one? Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity. That was 2020, right?
That's correct.
So 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2023, 2024, 2025. It's a little sooner. They're not waiting quite as long.
Well, likely it'd be the end of the year. It probably would be
so
November.
even if they do that, then yeah, it's about the same amount of time. But the biggest reason why, what was the only problem with Age of Calamity? The only problem with Age of Calamity.
Before I answer that question, I want to stress how accurate that statement is that there only was one thing, because that game was phenomenal.
It was very good.
The gameplay loop
I absolutely love that game.
The gameplay loop was addicting. It's gotten me. It's made me a fan of that style of gameplay, the hack and slash. The story was top notch. In fact, it was the better story when you look at Breath of the Wild versus that. I mean, it's no competition.
Hot take, but I totally agree with you.
No competition. That story is light years better than Breath of the Wild story.
Yeah.
It was just overall fun. But Drip,
dude, honestly, let me stop. Let's go there for a second.
Mm.
Is it better than Tears of the Kingdom story?
Yes.
Yeah, kind of.
I'm sorry because they have that freedom to do that in a spinoff.
Yeah. I don't know. It was great. I love the story, and you know what? Even the part you say about the gameplay loop, I got sick of the gameplay loop a little bit, but I didn't care because I wanted the story so bad.
No, so I agree. I got sick of it after around 50 or 60 hours. Right?
Yeah.
I still. Yeah.
Yeah.
but it took that long to get there. I mean, I when I finished the game, and I didn't even I bought and never completed the DLC, but you know, I was 100 hours in before the DLC.
Ooh, I forgot there was DLC.
Yeah, I mean, I put 100 hours in before the DLC, and I was sick of it, and I couldn't get any more. And plus, Abby finished it, so I got to watch her do it and got the story from her. So I didn't actually have to play to get the story, which is nice.
Yeah, that's nice there.
But yeah, they was just it's a good ass game. But Drip, the one problem the game had that is undeniable is, I mean, the performance. There's just no way to put it. It was god awful. It was terrible,
awful. Especially in the late game. Like the final couple areas you were in, there was just so much fire and shit going on. Like it was just, I mean, half a frame a second. Like
oh yeah,
it was bad, man. It was really, really bad.
Mrs. Jeeb and I and Mrs. Jeeb were super excited for the multiplayer portion because that's something I really wanted out of a new Zelda.
How bad that was.
That was a take I had on the podcast for basically years. I wanted multiplayer Zelda. I really wanted to, or either multiplayer Zelda, not like a Fortnite multiplayer, just like maybe that you can have whatever multiplayer Zelda or like co-op, you know, like a Mario Odyssey type situation.
Yeah.
And I also want playable Zelda, and they did all those things, but the performance was so bad it could not handle having two people on the screen for Age of Calamity. It was so bad. It was the worst experience I think I've ever had. And here's the crazy part, Drip. It's such a good game. I still had fun.
Yeah,
through all the performance. I feel like a Pokemon fan saying that. But like
what could fix that? What could fix that?
Better hardware.
Yeah.
Faux show.
And what a perfect Zelda game to showcase, you know, the new hardware. What a perfect first Zelda game to throw on there, because you know already, if it comes out in 2025, we already know, I think everybody can agree, we're not getting a mainline Zelda game in 2025. That's not happening.
No. Honestly,
I mean,
I'm going through the timeline in my head, dude. I actually think 2026 is the year. I really do. For the game.
Possible. I feel like it's going to be a little longer, but you may be right.
Yeah, it could be like May 2026 or like November 2025, but even November 2025 is still too soon. I think they would probably push it to May 2026. Just for scheduling things.
Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting to think about. I feel like that's an episode on its own right there.
Probably.
That's a lot. Yeah,
I mean, you could probably expect us to talk about we should make the game. We should make the game. Oh
man, like you know what else I want to do? Remember that video that I made trying to guess where the dungeons were going to be in Tears of the Kingdom and what is what I'd like to do now that we know everything and we're way past spoiler territory. I would love to go back and watch that video and actually see how much of it I got right. Because there are some things that I did actually get right, and some of it, Nintendo should have watched the video. Clearly,
you had better
input than their idea. Yeah,
it was. I mean, specifically with like Gerudo. Like,
yeah, that's a missed opportunity.
They dropped the ball.
I really want to do that. Maybe we could do that in the. I don't want to do it in the after show. Maybe we'll do it for a members only podcast. And remember, you can become a member of this podcast. There's a little button down below, right by the subscribe button. It's a join button. You can hit that, and we do a podcast special for just members once a month. And if we get more, we may do even more of them and more things. So at the moment, it supports the channel.
At the moment, we promise. Yeah, sorry, Drip. At the moment, we promise one per month. We've been known to do multiple in a month, mainly because we miss a month sometimes. But we're not against doing multiple in a month. We just need the interest, and the interest will come by people showing up. So if you want even more content from us, go ahead and become a member. You already get extra content, and you can get, and it helps support us. Man, feed the Jeep, right?
Feed the Jeep. Hashtag feed the Jeep. Okay, so 2025, we've touched that. We've done that. I want to get on one more thing before we go with like the easy stuff that I think we're gonna get. I want to talk about, and I think we've discussed this, but I want to just kind of I want to do a little bit more with this. I would say at this point, I think you could agree. Obviously, when they were done with Tears of the Kingdom, they started working on the next Zelda game. Now, how far they've gone, Oh my God, excuse me.
Oh, don't do that, Drip. Come on.
I'm fine. I'm fine. Okay.
Get out of here.
How far they've gotten with that right now, we don't know. But I would say they're probably still in the early planning stages. Maybe early development of what's going on, but maybe still just planning. And in that portion of making a video game is where you decide what type of game you're going to make. This is where a lot of decisions are made about what direction you're going to go. Now, we've seen Zelda do a lot of things. Two big ones in the 3D Zeldas, specifically, now that we have Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. I want to know what you think about this. Are we getting open world Zelda again? Or do you think they will go back for the next game to more of a linear style? Or do you think it's going to be open world? I've given you my answer. You already know my answer.
Are you saying exclusively or just ever again?
I'm just saying for just the next one.
Next 3D Zelda.
Just this next one. Yeah.
1,000% yes.
On what?
That we will get an open world Zelda.
Open world.
1,000%. 1,000,000%. What's the infinity percent? And that's not a bad thing. I think a good thing could come to where they, like Tears of the Kingdom started to do a little bit. Well, let's start with Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild, no linear. The opposite of linear. It was whatever you want, wherever you want. And which was great and refreshing, and clearly the series needed that. Clearly it needed that.
Yeah, people enjoyed it.
Tears of the Kingdom. Now, still no limits. There was literally no limits, no borders. You could do whatever you want, just like Breath of the Wild. However, the way that they designed the game was more linear. So you could have the option of playing a more linear style while still having the freedom of an open world. That was a happy medium, I think, that was necessary. Again, they made a great decision. Now for the next thing, between the two games, those two games, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, they made 50 million, not dollars, many more dollars than that. Copies sold, 50 million copies right there with those two games. Not even in the same atmosphere as the rest of the series of Zelda. So clearly they're doing another one. It's not even a question. The question is, will they continue the trend with Tears of the Kingdom of making it a more linear experience optionally within an open world? And that I do think they will do. I think they'll continue to make it even more linear for those, and they're going to find ways to make the open world more like traditional Zelda as we go along. I think
it's easy to do. It's one thing they have to do. And I actually looked into this the other night. I went down a rabbit hole on this stuff. I thought this was very interesting. I don't know if you know this. So the reason that the dungeons in Tears of the Kingdom are the way they are, and they're kind of just like the open world, is because they wanted to add certain things in the dungeon areas, but that would mean messing with the physics in those areas, the way the game played and the way that things happened. They said it was impossible to do because it affected things that they couldn't control outside of the rest of the game.
Mm-hmm.
The difference is with the old games is those dungeons were blocked off. They were, you know what I mean? They weren't like part of the rest of the world. They were their own thing. You went in, there was a loading screen. You went to a fully new map. What's up, Chess?
What's up, man?
So that's where they could go in and make these dungeons as big as they want, however they wanted to do it. They could put different things in there with different items, and they worked different in there because it was a different map. It wasn't connected to what's happening outside in the overworld. Right. I think that's what they need to go back to. Separate these dungeons so it's like, whatever. If you need to, if you want to make it look like you can just jump out the window and go into the rest of the world, great. But it needs to have some type of maybe seamless loading to give us, this is a different map.
Yeah.
Like you go in, like, because that's the thing. You can look at the outside of like dungeons in whatever, Skyward Sword or Twilight Princess, this, that. It doesn't matter how big the outside is, because the internals of that dungeon are contained on a completely separate map. So even though the building looks like, oh, it looks like it's this big, but you go in, it's massive. It's like there's no way that could fit in that building. With Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, it's scaled. You know what I mean? Like you're looking at how big the building is. Like if you go out to the desert and you go stand on that building, you are literally standing on that building because what's in there is what's actually in there. You know what I mean?
Yes, I need to interject though. Unless I'm misunderstanding you, I think you're missing something. Because do you not remember in Breath of the Wild, not Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild?
Breath of the Wild, you're right.
You did load into the dungeons.
Okay, you're right. You did load into those. These ones you don't. You just go in and you can leave.
Tears of the Kingdom, yes. And I actually liked that. I actually did I thought that was an improvement over the Divine Beasts because it added to that open world feel.
But you can still leave the Divine Beast. Not
seamlessly. That's the magic of the seamless.
Oh, that's right. Because even when you jump off the side, it doesn't let you just go.
No, you just die.
Okay.
Tears of the Kingdom is
okay. That's fair.
not the way Tears of the Kingdom works.
They're still scaled. They're still scaled. Like the way that they are, like those are big enough to like, okay, that fits in there. When you look at it, it's true. Tears of the Kingdom, they actually are the size that they are. Tears of the Kingdom, you go up, you just go in.
Sorry. Really good point from Power Mad. In Breath of the Wild, once you left that dungeon, you never could go back. You were in there, you did your dungeon, and you never went back. You were never allowed in. Tears of the Kingdom was not that way. Tears of the Kingdom was when you were in there, you could leave, and when you left, when you were done, you can always go back in.
Oh, yeah. Well, and think about it, because it's part of the world.
Yes.
But that limits what they can do in a dungeon. That's my point. It limits what they can do as far as fun things, different interactive things. Because you know what else we missed a lot of in these games? And you got it kind of with like the companions. But like you go play like Twilight Princess or something like that. Like you meet or, let's just say the, what's the one? Snow Peak Ruins.
Yeah.
You go up there. That place has its own little story. There's
it's beautiful. It's honest to God, it's beautiful.
It's a great story too, right? Like
it's beautiful.
You don't get that stuff in Breath of the Wild and Tears. You don't get those little that it's just that charm where it's just, every little place has these characters you meet and it's like this whole story with them and like this big thing in the dungeon.
Let me help your argument here too. Skyward Sword is a good example as well, where each character you really have like an emotional attachment to. You they build a story for each character. Think about Groose, man. Think about
his art is just
think about a lot of the characters in those older linear Zelda games. You find like just NPCs basically.
Even Ocarina of Time, man.
Yeah, Moo fucking whatever this what's this called? Long Ranch. Like, dude, Moo Meadows is what I was gonna say. That's not the right thing.
No, it's not.
Oh no.
No.
So what I was saying is the characters you in all linear Zeldas you grow these attachments to. It's not just the overall story, it's like the characters. Not to say that some of the characters you don't grow attached to. Like I know Breath of the Wild, there is certainly a few of those characters that I grew attached to. And in Tears of the Kingdom, I could not wait to see how they evolved in the game, and we got that. And I'll leave that spoiler free, not because we need to, because I want to. Because if you haven't experienced that, I want you to experience that. Like play Breath of the Wild, experience those characters. Yeah. Love them, and then see how they change in the Tears of the Kingdom. It's beautiful. It's just not quite the same though as the older linear Zeldas. They don't hit the same, man.
No, they don't. They don't. I mean, they're great games. They're wonderful, wonderful, wonderful games. They're missing some of that. That's what I would love to see. I would love to see them take both and just give me like a meshed version of it. And I feel like with some better hardware, you could still make it look seamless. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to actually be seamless. It can just look seamless.
Quick loading. I mean, we talked about a couple weeks ago with the fast storage and everything. Yeah. We're gonna get that with the new system.
And supposedly they showed this new hardware or equivalent to the new hardware with Breath of the Wild with no loading screens anywhere.
Right.
And there's not a lot anyway, but like the loading screens were gone.
Yeah.
Like those big long loading screens, nothing. So you could easily seamlessly transition to a new map that is a dungeon that is like a gigantic thing. I mean, you could do it. There's ways to do it. I feel like the hardware is going to be the thing to let them be able to do it. So that's what I would like to see. You say what, 2026? You think?
Yeah, I mean, like in my own head, I feel like anytime we have an idea of when we think something's coming out, then we have to push it to the next year. It's just like it's
especially
a rule.
Zeldas,
especially us. We're awful with that.
we want it. We just want it now.
We just want it.
I think the new Zelda is actually going to be put out like 3 weeks from now. It's fine. Mainline Zelda, 3 weeks.
Oops, wrong button. Sorry, I just played the draft sound by accident. And we're drafting next week the new Zelda game.
2 weeks.
We need to
I don't know.
We keep saying this. We need to do another draft, man. It's been a while. It's been a while since we draft dog.
Oh no, yeah. Listen, the NFL draft's coming up.
What
are we drafting?
Chat in the after show, you will decide for us what we're drafting. And if you're listening to this podcast after the fact, leave it in our YouTube comments. Or if you're listening on audio side of things, I guess you're just gonna have to leave a 5-star review and then tell us in that 5-star review what you want us to do in this draft.
Then we'll read it on air.
We're gonna read it on air. We're gonna read some of we're gonna read some of these comments or some of our reviews in the after show. But chat in the chat. Those of you in the chat, stick around. We're hanging out for the after show. Those of you listening to this podcast, draft a beer. We're gonna be hanging out in the after show. But those of you listening to this podcast, we're gonna see you guys next week.
Later.
What's the button? I forget what the button is. Is this one?
You got it.
Nope,
man.
that's not the right button. Is it this button?
One. Yep, that's the one.
That's the pre-show button. I remember. I know. Now I know. It's this button.
Good.
We'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
I did forget. I forgot what button it was because it's been a week off.
It's totally fine, Jeeb. Welcome to the after show.
Oh no!
It's the after show. Ba-da-ba-da-bum. And for this after show, it's sponsored by Bush. Just kidding. It's actually sponsored by DOYOKY and this fucking awesome controller that I have as well, Drip. And good Lord, do I like this thing a lot.
I told you, man. They're good. I told you.
It's really good. I
was really, really interested to see what you were going to say about it. Because I'm
going to make a video on it.
Asked if you've got yours yet.
I'm going to make a video on it. Not because it's part of our deal, just because I want to. I have some criticisms about it.
Yeah,
but those are not for, and you already made your video. I will leave that for my video, not for our sponsored content with them. That'd be slightly inappropriate. But yeah, no, this thing's awesome. I have it met the expectations that I had for it before I got it. It's good, and I had some higher expectations for it. It's really good. If you guys want this bad boy, if you want it 10% off, you can use our code Drip Media Gaming. It's really his code, but it's our code. Use that code to get 10% off if you guys want it. I think, was it $69, dude? I think it's what it is. So 10% off of that would be like what, $7? So get free shipping basically, right? Yeah, very nice. Or tax.
Good deal.
Thank you, DOYOKY. I could do a whole podcast about this thing, man. I love it.
It is good. You said you put the taller sticks on yours?
I do. I have the taller sticks on it.
I have the short ones on mine.
Hey, chat.
I don't know where my taller ones are at.
While Drip and I are bullshitting here, chat, make sure you guys leave us in the comments here in the YouTube chat what we should do, what we should draft. The draft is coming up for the NFL. Every year we're going to be doing a draft. Last year we did Zelda characters. I
remember this year. I did say Nintendo consoles.
That's a really good one.
That was my idea. Yeah,
That's a really good one.
I'd like to have some other. Yeah, it's a Steam Deck too.
Yeah, it's Steam Deck
with games. Steam Deck
okay,
too.
Google. When is the NFL draft? April 25th. She said Houston Texans.
Yeah, I was like, what?
It's like, okay, Google, shut up,
what
please.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, she's a little drunk. I had to unplug her the other night.
Go home, you're drunk.
I had to unplug her the other night. She was like mishearing me and not hearing me at all. I got tired of it, and I went up there. I told her, I'm going to unplug you if you mess up again. And she messed up again.
First-party Switch games.
Oh, that is a good one.
That's a pretty good one.
If you guys actually want your submission to be, if your suggestion to be remembered, put it in our Discord as well in the podcast room. Put it there
because we'll do that.
We'll read them here, but Drip and I will both forget by the time we're done being live.
Oh,
so
yeah.
put it in our podcast room, and that way we won't forget. That's a good. Powerman put that in there.
I do like that.
Who else? Someone else had a good one. It was your good one. Consoles.
Yeah, Nintendo consoles.
Yeah.
Number one pick, Virtual Boy.
Oh, we should do that. I think we should just do that. That's a really good one. Not that first party one's is bad one, but
first party ones is I kind of like that better.
I like the consoles better.
There's a lot.
We'll have to do a community poll. We're gonna have to do a community tab poll.
We will.
we will and we shall. I'm going to get that started right now before I forget for when I'm making the video later.
That's what I need to do too. I need to go to edit our stream. When we send everybody out of here, we're sending them over to
Yes, Dude's a monster.
He just went live, so we will redirect to him. We're not going anywhere yet. Nobody get crazy. Okay, there we go.
Don't get crazy now.
Adventures of Link. Wait, where did I go? The Adventure of Link is the remake we will get. No, it's not. No, it's not. No Zelda 2. No Zelda 2. I don't want that. Make it good. Yeah, well, it needs to be made good because it's definitely not good. I don't know. That's not the one I would want. If they're going to remake an old game, I just wanted to do the original. Just remake the original. I'd much rather do that.
We forgot to talk about, so we'll talk about it now, Ocarina of Time map.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we were talking before the show because we were talking about the 2D Zelda stuff and how A Link Between Worlds used A Link to the Past map, which, you know, for me, playing that game when it came out and then years and years and years later, when they go back to that map, is really cool.
Yeah.
It was really awesome. But then I said that it would be like the next game, the new Zelda, whatever it is, the one we're talking about with seamless dungeons or whatever, but they go back to like Ocarina of Time's map and just redo that and make it look amazing. But it's the map of Ocarina of Time, like the ranch is in the middle, and you've got Death Mountain right by the castle town. That would be pretty damn cool, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be awesome.
I mean,
one of
the biggest issues that I think everybody did have, as cool as Ocarina was, especially for the time, one of the biggest issues was how empty Hyrule Field was.
Oh yeah, fill it up.
So that'd be their opportunity. I mean, they kind of did that with Twilight Princess. You kind of look at that, similar like that.
Yeah, they did.
But not quite.
That was way bigger. That was way bigger.
It was way bigger, way different as well. And
yeah, it was like
they did not fill it with good.
Different...
Twilight Princess, if they did not the open world, if they did the main area, what do you call that in Twilight Princess? The map. I mean, basically the map, the open
Hyrule
map.
Field. Yeah.
Hyrule Field, but then if they would have did different things with Hyrule Field, I think it would have been a better game for me, in particular. I forgot to put that. We're not in the after show now. Yeah. Anyway, any good suggestions from the chat here? Steam Deck 2? Oh, that's right. That was the DOYOKY. You like my stickers too? I like my stickers.
You got a Jordan 1 on there. I see that.
And Nike, yeah. And then I got these Zelda ones because she's bae.
Lord.
She got a heart. It's for me.
Oh my God. Didn't we go over this?
That what?
I don't know. She's underage. We can't talk about
it. Oh yeah.
She's
but I gave her. But Drip, I gave her the ring. Remember?
Oh yeah, you did. I guess that's fine.
Gave her the ring. Made it short. Remember that short? The biggest issue right now, my favorite thing is to read his comments without reading it first. Read it out loud without reading it silently. Coffee with Games says the biggest issue right now is the Switch tech. Running games that look gorgeous but run like trash is an issue. See, I was expecting something more unhinged from Coffee with Games.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what the next one's probably going to fix. That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's kind of where we came to the idea that, I mean, Hyrule Warriors, whatever. What do we call it? The Imprisoning War? Like, that would be a great game to show off what the hardware can do, especially because it's first party, but also third party.
Yes.
And that would be a great story. There's not going to be a Zelda game ready, and they're going to want to have one. That's a good one. I mean, hell, they could do that. And, I mean, my God, what if we got the first 4K Zelda game? And it was Twilight Princess with new textures. Twilight Princess 4K instead of HD.
I mean, Daddy likey. Daddy likey.
I mean, you could put both those out in the same year. Who cares?
So the HD remaster of Ocarina of Time will run 5 frames per second on the Switch 2, and then 10 frames per second on the Switch 3. That's more like that's what you're here for.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah,
that's what I'm looking for. Leave your actual takes behind. Give me the garbage.
Give me the garbage. Garbage.
Also, stream. I need your streams again. It's like I'm like Dave Chappelle, who's run out of like his Coke. Like, I need gimme.
Got any more streams over there?
You got any more of them streams over there?
I will be starting back to streaming again. I took last week off completely. We're gonna be playing a little bit of Fortnite. Maybe.
You lied to me, Drip.
I did. Last night I said I was gonna do stuff and I didn't.
It was Monday, not last night was
Monday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, it was Monday.
Yeah.
You know what? I totally forgot about it until it was too late. And then like in my head with my ADHD and my anxiety, I was like, oh, it's too late. There's only like an hour till I can do that. There's no way I can mentally prepare to be online like that. I can't do it. So I didn't do it. But Twilight Princess is getting streamed. I'm going to be, Fortnite is the thing. That's my thing. That's what I'm going to play. It's what I like to play. But we are also going to take one day a week and we're going to start Twilight Princess. And my next stream will be that 100%, no questions asked. And it might be tomorrow.
I wanted to stream on Monday night. However, I had realized two things. One, Mrs. Jeeb already had, for Mrs. Jeeb night this Monday. One, I realized Mrs. Jeeb had commitments with her mother to help her out on Monday night. And two, you had said that you were going to stream. So we didn't do it that night. Turns out you didn't stream, and Abby didn't end up doing the thing with her mom either. So, like, I was like, shit, we could have streamed tonight. But I didn't, so.
Well,
but my parents were in town last week, so we didn't do Jeeb night. We didn't do Fortnite Friday. We didn't do Mrs. Jeeb Monday. That's going back this week. I think the next stream you can expect out of me is probably going to be Friday. And this Friday is Jeeb night, not Fortnite Friday. Although we might just play Fortnite.
Hero, do you think my computer can handle Twilight Princess? Yeah?
Dude, the Wii U can handle it.
I mean, my computer's not much better than a Wii U, I don't think. If I'm being honest.
You absolutely can have it getting running on your PC.
I mean,
now, the question is, Drip, are you going to be skilled enough to actually successfully get it running on there? That is the question.
That is a completely different question, yeah. And I don't know the answer to that. I could just go get my Wii U and put it right here and plug it into this little capture card and be done with it.
You could, but actually, Hero, here's a better question. Can he stream while playing Twilight Princess?
Oh, yeah.
That's a better question.
Stream and play the game.
That's a better question. That's a tough one. That I don't know the answer to.
Let's not do that. Let's just get the Wii U down here.
You get the Wii U. That's what you should.
Honestly, I'd rather use the Wii U so I can use the gamepad. I want to use the gamepad. I'm a fan of the gamepad. I don't know, man. I think it's one of the most comfortable controllers ever to hit the market, man.
Yeah, I have 3 of the most comfortable controllers of Nintendo history right behind me. Right behind me, as you can see, the Wii U gamepad, Panda Edition, the Jeeb Edition, the Nintendo 64 controller. Very iconically comfortable. Everybody can agree. Iconically comfortable. And of course, we have the Joy-Cons. Although I'd be lying to you because this episode is sponsored by the most comfortable Joy-Con of the planet. And I'm going to say psych to those Joy-Cons, and right here, baby. Most color controller Nintendo controllers ever. Ha ha.
Good.
Hee hee. DOYOKY. Link down in the description.
Yeah.
And FYI, nothing happens to Dripper Eyes if you click on that link. It's not affiliated or nothing like that. You just go get the deal. Just go get the deal, man. Go get it. While it's still there, get 10% off. These are really good Joy-Cons. Like, I had the Nixie Wizards. I like those. Not comfortable. I thought they would be more comfortable than they were. I think the Binbok controllers are more comfortable than the Nixies. And I, Drip, remember we had both of them at the same place, and we both kind of agreed that the Nixies the Binboks were better.
Yeah.
So, but those are my first experience with big Joy-Cons. These are my second experience with big Joy-Cons, and these are really good. And not to be confused. Yeah, those ones. Yeah, those are much more comfortable. Not to be confused with the other product we had from what company was that? What was their name? Drip, the dock, built-in dock.
I don't know, G. What was their name?
Oh right, I missaid it was Nixie because it started with an N. What was it?
Nexigo.
Nexigo. Thank you. Mexico. that was Nexigo was comfortable.
I have all
It is
the big
comfortable.
Joy-Cons.
It
right
is
here in
comfortable,
this
but they're
box.
not. That also
Oh my
wasn't
God.
Joy-Cons. The next go was a grip that had built-in controllers. These are true wireless Joy-Cons. So, yeah, for big Joy-Cons, these things are absolutely sick.
Yeah, I do like
Power Man, have a good night, man. You've hung out for long enough for sure, man. Appreciate you. I get a good sleep, my dude. What is it? What time is it? Let's see. The time of death for Power Man. It is 2:43 a.m. for Power Man.
Dude, call it on the pod too.
Nothing.
Time of death. 9:43.
9:43 Eastern, 8:43 Central. Well, I guess let's run down the rest of them while we're at it. 6:43 Los Angeles time and 12:43 the next day in Sydney, Australia. Bappy, wherever you're at, probably
Good night,
working.
mate.
But I might enjoy a lunch. Get those shrimp off the bobby for lunch.
Had a good brekkie. Time for lunch.
Good, Breggy. That's right. Guys in the chat, thank you guys so much for hanging out. This has been a fun episode, or from coming back from a week off. I'm as expected, slow start, strong finish. You guys are the best. Thank you guys. We're gonna see you guys this Friday for Fortnite Friday. And before I go, I'm gonna hold this stream hostage. Drip, everybody, don't leave. One more like. We have 11 people here, 14 likes. One of you is bound to not like this yet. Like it. Abby, have you liked? Do you want pizza for that? Well, this is the after show, Mrs. G, but yes, come bring it down. I would enjoy that.
I want pizza.
15 likes. There we go. We're no longer hostage. We can leave now. Thank you guys. Appreciate you. We'll see you guys for the. Thank you, Babby. We'll see you guys for the next thing that we're doing. Like I said, it should be Friday. Probably playing Fortnite. Oh, what we're gonna do. It'll be fun.
Love it. Let's do it.
We'll see you guys next week.
Later.